Hello and welcome to a very special Newsburst live unboxing in the middle of the random morning-y day type thing. Yes, I am Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, and this is the Full Force Newsburst live. Now, I've had a lot of figures come through recently, courtesy of In Demand Toys. Thank you very much, Nick and Mass and the crew at In Demand Toys. And I'm going to be kind of doing an unboxing for each one throughout the week because there's a lot of them, and I didn't want to kind of like do them all at once because it just seems like a lot, and I didn't want to do because it's 5-figure waves now, so I thought I'd separate it out a little bit and give you little piecemeals. And today I thought I'd start with probably the most infamous, one of the most discussed, one of the most kind of like it's not really, it's one of those ones it's not even a love it or hate it thing. I think most people have very strong opinions about this particular figure, and that is very own Vincent R Falcon, Falcone, or Falcone. I don't know how you really pronounce that surname, but yeah, we'll be looking at him today. So thanks to everyone who's kind of watching along, and we'll get stuck in and have a look at that head sculpt that I've talked so much about in the past. Hello, Ryan Daly. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everyone is. Scrutinized, that's a good word to use, Ryan, thank you. Much scrutinized, much maligned figure. Right. So thanks for watching, and we'll get stuck into it in a few seconds. So like I said, I've got the 5-figure wave and the 2 retro figures to get through. Thought I'd start off with old Vince here, and then we'll probably get into the rest of the 5-figure waves. Covergirl, Barbecue, Marauders Barbecue, Crimson Bat, and Outback. I'm actually very excited. I know 3 of them are repaints, but I am excited to get stuck into those and see them firsthand. I'm actually, oddly enough, excited to get stuck into this as well. So without further ado, let's do that. Okay then, so I've switched cameras now. Well, not cameras, I've switched graphic, so the name isn't in the way over there now, so you get to see the full beauty of this. Now we'll start with the box. We have at the moment the current styling, even though that is changing in the next few. So we've got the current styling, which is the all artwork front with the small figure render right there. Head doesn't look too bad there, does it? But I think we're going to have issues when we get in there. Obviously, Vincent R. Falcon, Falcone to get the entire name in there. And of course, the artwork, which is actually quite striking and really nice. And if you see how the light kind of touches it, you've got different points that are kind of raised. So Falcon himself on there is like a gloss kind of finish on there. And then the parachutists and the kind of like Hercules or the C-130 up there, that is kind of like also a different finish as well. So it's a very, again, I've really enjoyed the artwork. And on the side there's Falcon coming in strong, and there's a helicopter out there as well. Look, check that out. Looks very hindish, that, doesn't it? Looks like the hind. Interesting. And then lots of other nice little details as well, like that kind of almost like the sat image of where they are on the ground and everything. That's kind of cool. So there's a mission going on basically, and of course you've got the these have now been relegated on the new cards actually to well, they're here as well, but they've kind of been moved to the back forever now. So I don't think they're really focusing on that too much anymore. Hello, Tristan McDonald. I'm going to miss the artist showcase that the current packaging has. Yeah, sorry, I'll put that up on the screen. Yes, I know what you mean. I quite like it. I like the fact that we get the full artwork on here. Like this one, like it's okay. I don't think it's one of the best in the line, but I do like the style, and I like the fact there's lots going on here with like the watch in the background, like the watch face, kind of like the. Or that may even be like the parachute thing to tell you how far when to open your blooming chute, mate. So yeah, like I do like what's going on, like the explosion in the background. I like an explosion, and all of the kind of like the visuals of the topographical map and where people are on the ground, where kind of like points are and things. It's kind of cool. I like it. I'm, like I said, not the crazy best actual character one I've seen, but I do like it. This actually would have made so much more sense, wouldn't it, for, let's say, a Falcon Night Force version, wouldn't it? Like if they'd done a Falcon one that had a little bit more kind of, you know, you could see it a bit clearer and all the colors and everything, and then you do a Night Force one, it'd be this. This is the Night Force one. So yeah, I like it. It's interesting. Not my favorite, but definitely when it in hand and not up close, I'm feeling the vibe, I'm feeling the design, I'm feeling everything about it. But like I said, in terms of like characters, yeah, not that crazy. Not the craziest best one. What we got coming in here? Yeah, you random Monday stream. Yes, Jeremy. Sorry, it is a bit random, isn't it? Hello, Grant. I hope you're doing well. 46 Zone. Hello. Can I do a side by side with his brother? Well, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be doing a lot of these. I don't have any other figures to kind of like do comparisons with today, but I will be doing that on future ones this week. So I'll be busting Falcon out again when I've done, you know, to kind of to put him with the wave, and we'll look at some comparisons there with Duke when I have Duke, but I don't have Duke, unfortunately, in hand at the moment. He's I'm not at my house right now. Hello, Outback Stew. Ryan says, prior to the latest wave, I thought the Classified needed one standardized art style to make them uniform, like the classic O-ring figures had, but not the same style as that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I think the new ones going forward are definitely probably going to be more up your alley, Viper. I don't know why I said that, but more up your alley. Hello, Don Blanco. How you doing? Checkpoint Alpha, hello. And Jeremy's asking, is that a Boba Fett hat? It is, isn't it? It's cool. You can thank the wonderful Eric Ridlon for this. What a lovely present, eh? I just like seeing the different art styles. As an artist myself, it was a refreshing approach. Yes, Tristan, I agree, and I've enjoyed them in all their different facets so far. I enjoyed this design as well, with the image all on the front and everything. Totally. Nixtimus says, do we know if the new boxes will be the same size as the Falcon Waves? I believe the same size, yes. By the way, I should give you a heads up. I'm going to be doing an interview very soon with Lenny and I think Emily. I believe that's on the cards very soon as well. So we're going to be delving into lots of things, really, but probably a lot of the new stuff that's been revealed. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about the packaging, so we'll get into the nitty gritty on that one. And yeah, and I think there's going to be some cool stuff coming out of that one, I think. But yeah, we will be doing that very soon. So I can't answer questions on exact measurements, but I'm pretty certain the boxes are the same size. Yes. Grant says, it's weird, I never found Falcon's head sculpt that ugly. Well, we'll get into that, won't we, when I open this? I kind of did. Right, let's look at the rest of the back. We've got the figure render on the back, of course, with all the loadout. You know, all of the usual guffins. There you go, all of that usual stuffs on the back. There's the bottom, 64 on the side, and his you know, his attributes, which we could check on, and then I've done this side, and then the top, 64. You know the drill, guys. You've seen these before. Right, let's get into it. This is great, by the way. This is a really cool box cutter that I thank my wonderful in-laws for. It's really neat. I use it all the time. I've got the other one's really dope as well as another much smaller one than this with a tiny, tiny ceramic blade. Yeah, it's great. So I'm just going to open this up and then we'll slide Falcon out of the box. Finally, for the masses to see. Okay, looks like we're going to be starting with the usual accessories box. So, boink, there we go. And we've got the, I forget what you call them now, but the kind of faux weapons crates with the fake handles on the top, 64, Vincent R, Falcon, Falcone, all very nice. Nice detailing, got the hinges on the back as well, which is cool. I don't think I noticed the hinges before, and the handles on the sides as well. They're not real handles, guys. Getting into this, we should be able to see what he comes with. As per, we've got the fancy packaging. And it looks like everything is in this one little... It's just the legal gump. Again, I don't know why, but we're not going to look at it. Who cares? And yeah, it's in like that kind of sealed bag. Again, no, I like these. This is a nice touch. And I'm going to just go for it because who cares, right? It's just a bit of paper, isn't it? I've got lots of bits of paper now with Cobra logos and Joe logos on it. There we go, nice and noisy. Right, so we have some very cool items. Oh, the backpack is cool. Oh, is that supposed to be like that? Well, that's interesting. Not the best start, unfortunately, but I've got a little bent end, and you can see the you can see how it's like got the stress mark on the end there. So that should be straight up in the air, but it's actually bent a little bit, and I don't know how that could have happened in there, considering it was like nothing to touch it, basically. Okay, well, I'm gonna just gently bend it back into place, and I'm just gonna have to put up with the stress mark on the antenna. That's a shame. Be careful when you get yours. I mean, I didn't break it myself. That was just literally how it was in the baggie, unfortunately. But the backpack is pretty cool. I love the detail on there. You got the canteens on there. You got the rope on there. You got the like the little pouches and everything. It's a neat backpack. I really do love that backpack. And then, of course, you've got the antenna on there, and then you've got this little sheath for the knife. And that's a nice little detail on there, that little bit of white there, which is kind of like a little screen for like a little pad. That's really cool, isn't it? I like that. And then the little buttons. But again, yeah, shame about the old... shame about that. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be upright. If you look at the... if you look at the back, it's supposed to be like just straight up in the air. Like it's got a bit of bend and twist and stuff to it. And actually, that is probably the natural bend and twist it should have. Get my head out of the way. But unfortunately, you can see that stress mark right there, can't you? A couple of them. Again, not a big deal. I mean, I could probably just paint over that, color match it, and just give it a paint over. But again, I don't know. I'm not that fussed, honestly. But there you go. Cool backpack. The backpack's actually really dope. I love that. We're at least going to get some very cool accessories out of this, aren't we? Oh, hell yes. That's pretty awesome. The shotgun is well good. So look at this. Oh. Brilliant. There we go. It just pops on and off on the end. But yeah, that spins around like that, and that moves as well. There you go. Sorry, I just needed a couple of turns inside that little spot. But that was really funny, wasn't it? Typical. But there you go. Yeah, it works. It's totally cool, and it's on there. That is neat. Love that. I would say, actually, yeah, it holds in places, so it's not like completely loose. That's pretty neat. It does pop out though quite easily when you fold it back over. But that's really cool. I do love that. That's really neat. Love that shotgun. You got some of the shells as well hidden in the butt. That's wicked. The stock. Yeah, into that. That is a very, very cool shotgun. We've also got, the knife is really, really good. Talk about recognizable as well with the same kind of cuts in it and the serration and everything. I'm all thumbs today, guys, as you can tell. But yeah, that's really nice. Cool, like it. And that should slot nicely into backpack. Yep. Brilliant. Okay, getting some gear together here. And of course, here's, again, I dropped it on myself. I'm an idiot. Here's beret. Is Bennett. Let off some steam, Barrett. I'm just kidding. I know it's Bennett. And yeah, that's a beret with the cool little patch on it. Right, okay. That is all, I believe. Yeah, that's all of the accessories. I would say he could have done with a pistol, couldn't he? And a little holster. I'd have probably popped one on there anywhere I could find it. I'd probably stuck one on there somewhere. So let's get into. Oh, we've got some more stuff coming on before we get to the actual figure. Let's look at what you've been saying. Foot Locker says 46 Zone. Yes, I guess that's what it should be. It's a faux Foot Locker. Yes. There's a lot of comments that I've missed. I apologize. The new Checkpoint Alpha says the new color boxes is eye-catching. Yes, big time. These do you mean these ones, or do you mean the new ones that we've seen revealed? Because I really like them. I think they're great. Jeremy says push Lenny to make Sonic Fighters. Tell him I sent you, lol. Yeah, I would love a Sonic Fighters. All of them, honestly. All the Sonic Fighters, please, and Super Sonic Fighters. I never knew Outback was a range rider, says Outback. Well, yeah, more or less, isn't he? I suppose, with his utilizing of his limbs and body. Grant says, also, the recent announcement of the Night Force, I can imagine that either Falcon or Tunnel Rat will be repainted before Outback because he is the most recent Tiger Force figure. Yeah, I would suggest that's a good shout. We've got a Night Force redeco leaked listing, haven't we, that we know is going to be happening. So it would make sense that either one of those join the team. I was kind of hoping that we'd get a new head sculpt for Falcon before the Night Force version. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Luke says, cool about the interview. I would like to know why they changed the connection piece between the neck and head. Sadly, the new one doesn't allow the head to look up as much. Yeah, we can talk about that. I'll see if I can squeeze that into the conversation somewhere, Luke. 46 Zone says Falcon had to bend it to get a better signal. He's talking about that. That's the stress mark on there, is just from that. Well, it could be worse. It could be broken and it's not. So there we go. I'm not going to complain about it, even though I kind of did complain about it a little bit. Oh, that's brilliant, Tristan. Put some tin foil around it for more authenticity. Definitely. Yeah, I'll just stick a coat hanger on it. Yeah. The antenna on the 25th is bent. Maybe the packer remembered that and pre-bent yours. Yeah, it was like kind of bent backwards, wasn't it? The original and the 25th. So I should have just left it bent over, shouldn't I? Falcon has a boomstick. Does he now? I'm hoping if they do a Tiger Force Flint, will come with Falcon's shotgun. I would imagine we'll get Tiger Force Flint. I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, let's just call it a comeback. What? I would rather Flint have CoverGirl's shotgun, says Jeremy. Hello, Chaz. Tristan says, if they fix his head for a Night Force version, I'm buying 2. Oh, that's actually a very good point, and probably will do the same. Does the radio come out of the backpack, says Rachel? The antenna might. I don't know if the whole radio does. So you can see that the radio almost looks like a separate piece in the top there, but I think it's glued on. I think it's attached. I can't see a way of that coming out. Yeah, it just seems to be kind of like a separate piece with the sheath, and that you can kind of see the kind of separation on the sheath to the actual backpack and the separation of that. But no, it's fixed on there. There's nothing is coming out of that. Not in a million years. That'd have been kind of fun, having like a separate piece kind of unlock from it. But yeah, it's effectively one solid piece. 2 separate pieces, but fused together, we shall say on that one. But so, yeah, there you go. We're awaiting the face exocet. Yes, we are. Chaz, has asked, hey Chris, do you think we could get any classified reveals between now and Yojo June? I would think so. There's a lot to come. There's a lot to come this year, is all I'm going to say, Chaz. So yeah, I would imagine we'll get more before Yojo June, definitely. Grant says, speaking of Night Force, my most anticipated classified figures, Shadow Tracker and Tunnel Rat. Yeah, big time. Night Force Snake Eyes, says Ryan Daly. Brilliant. And Agent Chuckle says, while I don't love Falcon's head, his boots were more offensive to me. I used a wooden dowel to attach Stalker's boots, and now he looks like he belongs in the Operation Wolf game. Nice, Agent Chuckles. God, good shout out for Operation Wolf there. Right, let's just get to it, shall we? I've got to the end of the comments, so I'm good now. Let's reveal what we've all been waiting for. I've really dragged this out. I don't know, 21 minutes. Here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready? I don't think we're ready. Are we ready? We're ready. I don't think we're ready. He's a lot shorter than no, I'm kidding. A bit short for a stormtrooper. There he is. And he's, let's have a look. Interesting. I'm going to say interesting. I was hoping to be like surprised, like in a pleasant kind of way, but it's okay. Yeah, he looks all right, actually. It's not too bad. Like, it feels like a little bit too big for the body. I will say that. It's not, I don't look at it and think it's Falcon. Do you know what I mean? I think that's another aspect here. I think I look at it and I think, I don't really see Falcon in that face. But honestly, that is not too bad. It's not too bad at all, is it? I mean, what are you guys thinking from Kill It With Fire? Yeah, Tristan says, not as bad in person. Yeah, it's actually looking better on this camera than in person. It's actually not bad. I don't mind that. I'm not as offended. But yeah, I see what you're saying about the old boots. But let's get him out. Let's get him out and actually see him and get some close-ups. I don't know what those were, if they weren't close-ups, but and let's get his gear on as well, because he needs to get stuck into missions. Just doing these is a lot easier than the usual ones we used to have. Look at that, how easy to untwist. You just untwist them and they're ready to come out. I like that. That is actually easier and eco-friendly. But triple bonus. And yes, I do see the irony in doing eco-friendly when nothing else about the product is. Okay, and let's have a look at him. I'll have a look at him myself before I start sharing him with you guys, yeah? Let me enjoy it for once. It's the only time I'll actually get to enjoy him. Not bad. This is all right. This is nowhere near the devastation I felt when I saw some of those in-box, although in-hand figures straight away. He's not that bad, actually, guys. Genuinely, I'm in a position right now where, yeah, he's not one of the best of the line, but he's not as bad as I really thought. And yeah, people are saying better looking than expected. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to say it. If they did a Night Force version, I wouldn't mind. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, not that bad. Not everyone is good looking in the real world. That's a good point. I mean, look at me. I'm a good example of that, Luke. Not everyone can be attractive. Case in point, me and Falcon over here. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm liking the figure genuinely. Like I'm in there. It's good. There are definite things I would look at here and be like, improvements can be made 100%. But I think if the head sculpt was the only thing that ever got changed for Falcon, then again, I think I'd be okay with that. Let's put his gear on. Let's see what he looks like with everything on him. Backpack, for a change, goes in and stays in. That is genuinely an issue I have with most of the classified figures, is the backpack issues. Beret goes on nice and doit, and we get to see him. Yeah, do you know what? I'm not. This is all right. This is all right. I'm genuinely happy right now. He's got his obviously his knife in the back there, and here we go. You see, this is one where they, I don't think they necessarily needed to do another knife there. Like, I don't think that was necessary. I mean, the mold, yes. I mean, removable one. I don't think it was 100% necessary, but it would have been cool to have like a little blade there that popped out. But I understand why they didn't do it. They put more detail in the kind of like the clip and all that kind of stuff. So there's elements and details on there that they probably wouldn't have done, had it been a removable knife. Now let's give him his shotgun as well to kind of finish the look. I cannot believe I'm looking at this figure and going, I'm all right. I'm cool with it. Because I could have, from every image I've seen, even from product images, I was like, maybe not. But having it in hand and seeing him like this, I'm like, this isn't bad. I'm cool with it. And there he is. There's old Falcon with his shotgun. What do you think? I think he looks good. I'm not saying he's the best figure ever. I'm not saying that at all. Like I said, there are shortcomings with this particular figure, but this is nowhere near the extinction level event I was expecting. And again, the general general build is decent. Like the accessories it comes with are really cool. Like look out for your antenna might be bent like mine was, which was a bit of a shame. But again, it's got the stress mark on it, which if you're just joining and I haven't shown you yet, there is a stress mark at the top there, but it's not broken and it's on there. It's pretty sturdy and secure. And I bent it back and it was no problem. So that's again not an issue. And the gear looks cool. Like he looks cool all geared up. I'm gonna say it, guys. I'm not having an issue with Falcon in any way, shape, or form. Let's just his joints are nice and taut as well. Like the knee joints, I gave them a very, very gentle maneuverage there, and it did take some shifting. So he's nice and tight in that department. Kitty said elbows as well. They weren't loose or anything. But give him be gentle with that. You don't have to kind of like try and like move him around really quickly. That's a good point, Tristan, isn't it? If Falcon is the worst figure in the line, we are doing pretty good, and that is probably a good. I mean, that's a true statement. I would say if you're looking at all of the figures that have been released, Falcon is in essence isn't necessarily at the top. He's probably is the one at the bottom for that, for the head sculpt. But like I'm looking at this now, and there's elements of him I'm really enjoying. So I think again, like we can probably get away with a new head sculpt. Let's be clear. Let's make Falcon, into a head sculpt that we can kind of recognize. I would say again, like the little neckerchief piece is kind of cool as well. I would say it does not bunch up, but I'm not sure how it's supposed to sit over a collar. And I think that is something that might have been, that could be something that would be like looked at in the future, but it's certainly not, all over the place or ugly or anything like that. It kind of sits nicely, for where it is. So yeah, cool. I'm down. And yeah, he's got his Joe Pro on his shoulder. Look, there you go. On his secondary. Okay. I think that's probably about as much as you're going to get from me today, isn't it? From Falcon, but I will say that I am very pleasantly surprised with this one. Certainly not like I was expecting the dumpster fire. I was expecting it to be like really bad, and it just isn't. Not for me. Like this is nowhere near, like I said, the extinction level event that I was expecting, and fully like I was looking at reviews, looking at the product images, and I was just like, eh. But then again, seeing it in hand, getting all the gear on him, looking at him a little bit closer, it's like he's cool. The gears, I love the backpack. That is so sweet. The big antenna and that shotgun is wicked. And I didn't do it before, but yeah, that little piece that folds all the way over so it can like nice and neat on the top of the shotgun there. That's wicked. Like let's talk about those little improvements all over the figure and we'll see like if it makes sense. So obviously head sculpt, number one. That's the number one issue I would suggest. If this was to be like an upper echelon figure, he'd have to have a much better head sculpt, I think, personally. Now, with that said, I'd also go as far as to say maybe a different upper torso so that you could have that that neckerchief sit a little bit more comfortably. So that's two little aspects I'd probably kind of throw it in there. Then I would say deco-wise, because I haven't really talked about the deco, but it is very subtle, isn't it? If you look really closely, you can see the gray on the green, but it is a very subtle camouflage. And I kind of would like them to maybe, to revisit the deco would be another one that I'd throw in there. But like looking at it in hand, it's certainly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But again, it is very subtle still. So it's kind of subdued. Do you know what I mean? Then with that said, the only other thing I would mention, so it's head sculpt, kind of like a different torso. So the neck secondary the neckerchief secondary could like sit in a different way. I would say that the stock on the shotgun could be a little bit tighter connected wise, because at the moment when I flip it round, it can pop off quite easily. But when it kind of is on solidly in that position and it's on solidly in the open position, so minor change there. So I would say that isn't bad, considering all of the crap that has been floating around regarding this figure. That's not bad. Yeah. So there you go. More comments coming through. This is Falcon after he finished Slaughterhouse training, or Slammerhouse, but yes, definitely. He does look like a B-list actor, doesn't he? Definitely. Okay, says Agent Chuckles. Doesn't seem as shiny as some of the issues, says Supdon. Yeah, Supdon, let's have a talk about that, because the you can see a bit of shine there on the torso, can't you? More so than the arms. So the torso's a bit shiny. The secondary belt kind of piece isn't. It's kind of like a little bit duller. And then the legs are very shiny up until the boots. So there's shiny and matte elements on this figure, which do feel a bit jarring. You can't really see it that clearly on this camera necessarily. It kind of like cleans everything up, this camera, and kind of tightens it up. But yeah, the paint work on the face isn't the best, but at the same time, it's only really on the lips that I would suggest need sorting out. The eyes look fine, but yeah, like the lips are kind of, wow, so wide. Why did they do that? Wide did they do that? So what did that? Ryan says Firefly is evidence that Hasbro can and probably will take another swing at this character in a year or two. Yep, good point. Agent Chuckle says, give him Stalker's pistol holster and knife sheath. Good point. I think I've got a spare Stalker, so yes, I will do that. Thank you for that, Agent Chuckles. That's a good idea. Nictimus Prime says, I feel like that head is sculpted a bit too cartoony, like it's definitely going to clash with the rest of the collection. Yeah, that's another thing. I haven't got them compared with the rest of them yet, have I? So that's another thing I'll do in the future. Next time I do the next unboxing, which I would imagine will probably be, what I'll do is I'll probably do Crimson Bat, then I'll do Barbecue, then I'll do Outback, and then I'll do CoverGirl, because I'm excited for CoverGirl, but I want to save it till last. And then I'll do the two retro figures that I've got as well, Storm Shadow and Zartan. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to be doing these one at a time to give them a little bit more of their own space. But then what I'll do on the next one is I'll grab Falcon and Duke, and we'll do like a little comparison. Not, you know what I mean, like brothers together kind of thing. Oh, that's a good idea, Supdon. Someone could do a custom Don Johnson head sculpt. Would be great, wouldn't it? Yes, and homage the movie very well. Oh, Exocet, that's such a good point. He's much better than expected, but he still has a look at the Team America World Police puppets. Nice accessories, and that shotgun is sweet. I have to agree on all points. There's such an Team America vibe going on there with the head, definitely. Wilfredo Diaz says, are there any plans for Hasbro to sell a weapon pack with extra sidearms with holsters and knives? I don't know. We've asked that question. It's been asked on roundtables in the past, and the answer is usually it's not off the table. They might do. They've thought about it, but I think it's one of those things where they'll see how it progresses and how it goes. But you'll probably find that the bigger multi-packs end up with more of those kind of things, like more accessories that you can kind of spread around. So possibly, but maybe not in the way that you're expecting in that sense. And we'll ask the question again on the next interview, definitely. Luke says, I think it's more a problem with the face paint application at the factory for this wave than a head sculpt problem. I think it's a bit of both on that one, but we'll see when we look at Outback. That's a good point, Luke. Very good point, though, to make. But I will definitely, I will also probably say there's a head sculpt problem there too. He looks like Al Pacino in the Dick Tracy movie, says Ian Yoshio. That's such a good burn. And Jeremy says, CoverGirl is my most anticipated figure in the wave. Well, we'll get to her, but we'll get to her last. Is it St. Patrick's Day today, Brandon? I thought it was the other day. But happy St. Patrick's Day for those that celebrated that. Thank you anyway, Brandon. I appreciate it. Brandon Burnley. And yeah, and a happy one to you as well. Green. Yeah, green. I'm not sure. I'm sure it was the other day, though. I'm not sure if it's. I don't know. I'm not paying attention, so I'm sort of apologise. Yeah, so that is Falcon. Before I go, we just had to do one slight transition. That's just to get my name on the screen. It's just vanity at the end of the day. Guys, thank you so much for joining me while I opened Vincent R. Falcone, or Falcone. I don't know how you pronounce that last one. But I have been pleasantly surprised that he isn't the worst thing in the universe, genuinely. Probably in the terms of the levels that this line has taken us, Falcon is definitely not one of the top. Definitely more towards the bottom end of the classified series. However, this is not the terrible figure that I expected it to be. I'm not that bothered genuinely by a lot of the kind of shortcomings that we did list out, and I would suggest could be improved for, you know, a Sonic Fighter or a Night Force release and so on and so forth. If we did get this in Night Force Deco, I wouldn't be that bothered. I mean, I wouldn't be upset in any way, shape, or form. I would be like, you know what, cool. I'll have him. So yeah, very pleasantly surprised, and I love the gear. It comes with some awesome gear. The backpack is superb. It'd be cool if the canteens and the rope kind of were removable too, but you know, you're getting into like more deluxe area at that stage, and I'll just be happy with what we've got going on here, and with the hope that in the future, I'll just have his little head poking in the corner there. In the future, we might get a little bit of an upgrade to Vincent R. Falcone. Bosh. Right then. Thank you for joining me on this very random Monday, like live. Like I said, I will be back with more of these unboxings. I've got the wave of 5 to get through, which is, as I mentioned before, Crimson Bat, Outback, Marauders Barbecue, Mad Marauders Barbecue, and CoverGirl. I've already done Vince. And then, of course, the retro carded Storm Shadow and retro carded Zartan. They'll be interesting to look at as well. We've also got some other interesting content coming for you. We've got the next monthly is being edited as well, not at the moment because I'm doing this with you right now. I'm not that good, but that is going to be edited and hopefully up in the next couple of days. And then when what was I going to say? When those are when that's out of the way, I've got a classified deep dive on Quick Kick, Mutton Junkyard, and a Big Boa to do because they've got the name only reveals. So we'll be doing those as well. And on top of that, we've got another monthly that comes pretty quickly afterwards because we're going to record it soon and we're going to drop it early in April. I think probably the 1st. Not because it's an April Fool's episode, but it's gonna focus around Night Force as well. What with the recent leaked Walmart exclusive stuff, and as I say leaked, you know, the fact we've got a few more names on our leaked listings, as well as the official reveal of Big Ben and the Range Vipers for that Night Force theme now. So yeah, we're going to be doing all that kind of good stuff. What else is on? I think that's pretty. Oh, and the interview with a number of interviews We've got a Hasbro interview lined up, and we've got a Brian Flynn Super 7 interview lined up. But it looks like we'll be doing the Brian Flynn one in April, because it looks like that's when we will get the Wave 4 Ultimates reveal, because obviously it's going to be end of March when Super 7 starts dishing out their Wave 1 figures. So he said as soon as people start getting them in hand, that's when they'll start doing the other Ultimates Wave 4 reveal. So loads of stuff to come. It's crazy. Thank you so much to everyone in the comments for all of the comments and all of the questions and all that kind of good stuff, and for checking us out. It's been a pleasure. You know what to do at the end of all these episodes? Well, I should hope you do. After 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3, full force. See you later, guys. Thank you.
That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.